Where are you in the world?
I'm in Cyprus right now. I live here 6 years, but I'm from Greece. So
From Greece. Oh,
yeah, I'm from Greece.
I've I've never met anyone on here from Greece. This is the first time.
It's yeah, it's nice, but I needed to kind of move from there. Actually, life bring me here, so it's a little bit like yeah, it's nice. Where are you from?
So I'm currently living in Texas in USA in the United States here, but I'm actually from South Carolina, so just a few states away.
Oh, okay, cool.
Okay. And and Cyprus, where is Cyprus in the world? Like where exactly is Cyprus?
It's close to Greece. It's like how can I say? It's a little bit more down from Greece. Is the Europe, and Cyprus is down, and Egypt is on the opposite.
Okay, Egypt is on the
Small
other side.
island.
Say again?
It's a small island.
Okay,
It's really nice.
small island. Awesome. And you said you've been there for 6 years.
Yes,
Wow.
yes, almost 6 years. It's gonna be like 7 now. I came here when I was like 20, and I stayed here. Yeah, kind of life bring me. I didn't know that I'm gonna come here, but I stayed because I like it.
Hmm.
So, yep.
Yeah, what do you enjoy most about it that encouraged you to stay?
I think it's a lot of freedom,
Hmm.
and it's like everything here. It's more at slow. It's more slow, and it's more like yeah. Nature is really nice. You can have like mountain and sea at the same time,
Hmm.
so it's really nice. And I think, yeah, right now I feel like I kind of want also to move.
Mm.
And I don't know where, but I feel like I should try another country also.
Okay.
But right now, I'm here, so it's really nice. And I think if you want to have like a trip somewhere that is nice, you can have like really nice weather. You can come to Cyprus. It's really nice.
Hmm. Hmm. And do your friends call you Hope? What do
Um,
your friends
in Greece
call
is
you?
different. The name is like Elpida.
Elpida?
Elpida, yes. It's Elpida, Elpis, but it's like the meaning is hope, so they call me Hope. Yeah.
So they don't call you Hope, they call you Elpiva.
No, it's like how can I say? When you speak like Greek, the name is Elpida, but the translation, if you see in my name, is like Elpida in Greek.
O- Okay, it kind of went out. The connection is kind of going out.
No.
Yeah. Is this is there a good place or is this the best place for the connection?
I was speaking to my friend here in the morning and the connection was good. So I
Okay.
say probably here is gonna be good again.
Okay. Okay. So, okay. So, Piva, when you said that life brought you there to Cyprus, what do you mean when you said that life brought you there? Were there a set of circumstances that happened to bring you there?
Yeah, I kind of didn't have like plans when I was 20, and I knew that there is a job opportunity here, so I came here alone and I started working. I started making my own money, and I stayed here. And after I bring my family here, my brother and my mother.
Hmm.
So yeah, but it's a little bit, when the country that you live, it's a little bit like um, not easy if you don't have backup. So it kind of, I knew that here it's a little bit more open to opportunities, so I just came here. And from here also everything kind of starts. So yeah.
Yeah, yeah. And so you brought your family there.
Yeah. I brought my family here because I grew up like difficult, and I grew up with a single mom, and she did everything for us. So I needed to like do something. So yeah.
Wow. Wow. How did they feel about, you bringing them there? Were they thankful that you're no longer where you used to be? Like, how did your family take it when you brought them to Cyprus?
Of course, because when I was younger, I was like very, very like shy, and very like I didn't knew that I can like provide for my family, if I can say.
Hmm.
And like after years, they was telling me like what you did is a big for us and for everyone. So they're really thankful, of course. And you also learn how strong is a family, because when you going through difficult things, it's always like we stay strong and we do it, like everything together. It's really, how can I say it, like motivate you to do more in life, if I can say.
Yes,
So,
yes.
yeah.
You
And I
said,
also didn't know that I can like provide for my family, or I can do something like
hmm
that. But also like when you truly understand the motherhood and how the mother is providing for the children, and you can see that it's like big thing for a mother to give something to the children.
hmm
You cannot live after your like mother like struggle. So yeah.
Okay, okay. So it's also taught you about, so you've learned about motherhood in that way as well?
Yeah, I think in general like motherhood and reparing yourself,
Hmm.
because it's kind of like after after when you see life and you see how everything is working, you understand that you need to be the parent of yourself also,
Hmm.
because I think most of us we grow up like with I don't say with not the right love, but we supposed to grow and do things about ourselves,
Hmm.
and be more like learning from our own selves and how is to give love to that inner child that we have also.
Right,
Because yeah,
right.
um, so yeah, thing is teaching me like the path more about motherhood and parenting. And
Hmm.
I'm not mother, of course. I'm like tomorrow is my birthday. I'm gonna be 27.
Happy birthday! Happy
Thank
birthday!
you.
Oh man,
Thank you.
what is the blessings? What you said tomorrow? You're going to be
Uh, 27.
27. So awesome, awesome. So that means Aquarius.
Yep.
Awesome.
Last name.
Aquarius, Aquarius. That free energy. Aquarius is like freedom, the water bearer. It's an
Yeah.
air sign, so air sign. You're in movement. You know.
Yeah. And like for Aqua, I don't know. I don't truly like follow zodiac signs, but when I read my chart, I was like, no way, because I was since I was a child, I always be like on my own world all the time. And it was like my whole family was telling me like you have your own world, live there. And that is something that they about like for every Aquarius what they say. So some things I think is some characteristic I think is more like, oh yeah.
Mm, mm. So did it take courage, or was it just always natural to live in your own world?
I think it's kinda, to be honest, I think sometimes you feel like you create something, because when we are a child, like I think for all of us, we see the world from specific
Mhm,
eyes. And sometimes it's like we create things like, when you are sensitive also kid, and you see the world like about the people and the love and how we live with each
mhm,
other. You create kinda in your mind how you have the world, and you grow up with it. And from everything that you have, like, it's beautiful to have this world, but at the same time, you need to be back to the reality,
Mm,
if I can say. So sometimes it's really nice to be on your own world, and most of the times it's helpful because it's giving you to create something beautiful. But at the same time, like, you need to come back to, to be more grounded, yeah, and be like here, because you need, I think, balance. And I didn't have balance in my life for a long time, but when I start like being more here, it helped me more, I think,
mm.
because sometimes we are very, very far away. And yeah, I don't know, we need to be more in balance, I think.
I agree. To Aquarian energy, or my Aquarius is moon, so my moon is in Aquarius. I have that energy as well, that I can kind of be scattered. I can kind of be
Yeah.
very carefree, very here, and less grounded, less stable. So when it comes to yourself, it sounds like you're open to heaven, but also you're still down to earth. You want to be
Yeah. Yeah. I think it's when you're not also grounded and you're not here, you try like all the time to not escape, but it's kind of, to escape something here. And sometimes I think you need, the important to have balance. I think it's just to face here what you have to face, and then if you want to like create the world that you have in your heart, then you need to also face what is here. And it's really beautiful because also to experience life, everything is like the journey and about the beauty of that, of the life that you're gonna learn here a lot of things. And sometimes you're not in the great place, but always you learn every single day things, and you're like, okay, I understand now why everything is like. So I think that it's good. It's good to have your own world, but it's good also to learn how to protect
right,
this world.
right.
And mm,
This is a big lesson. That's a big lesson there. A lot of wisdom, because El Pivo, when you're talking about the contrast and being grateful for, the journey, and being grateful for the learning. I remember you were talking about, before you brought your mother and your family over to Cyprus, that you weren't always in the best circumstances. You weren't always in the best environment. And,
yeah,
on your page, you talked about, there was a post you put up about the lotus. And I'd love to hear, because you said the lotus rises out of muddy water, and that it's rooted, but it blooms in beauty. So what do you feel were the muddy water that you emerged from in order to kind of reach that new state?
it takes a lot of courage, and a lot of like, because you live in the environment. Let's say that you are a seed, and you want like to be a flower, and you want to bloom, and you want just to be healthy and to be happy and to love yourself, because before you didn't know how to love yourself, because you didn't have the same, I don't say there is no love there, but I say sometimes we learning that, how we can change a little bit more to ourselves and the world outside, because there is also responsibility how we put ourselves outside and into the world. So it took me a lot of small changes to like to understand the importance of take caring also myself, because if you're very sensitive and your environment is not in the same that you want to receive as as your inner child, you understand like you are responsible to give it to yourself. And it's take like, because you didn't have like someone to guide you or to teach you, you learn it from yourself again. So it takes a lot to really like start listening yourself and start listen your truth and like who you are and who you want to be. And so yeah, so it's coming everything with the parenting and the great like to have a really good example to the world and to understand like we are here to experience all this and experience the life and how we can provide also in like not only for us but for the new generation. Like I'm not gonna change only for myself just to understand like, oh, I can be great, but it's I think the whole picture about also like new generation and kids and sorry. I think I and what is missing maybe for the world because everything I mean this world is beautiful but at the same time it's like we we could all be more loving and accepting to each other because then it's more beautiful to bloom from the muddy world and yeah.
I agree. I agree. And you know, that's a beautiful message that you say, Elpiva, because when you're talking about, well, like coming from the muddy waters and then, you know, rising and then blooming. And then you talked about like your true self. Because when you feel so sensitive, like you say, at times, could it be challenging? Has there ever been a burden or has it ever felt like you wish you weren't so sensitive? You know, in a world where some people aren't as sensitive or, you know, they aren't as forgiving or aren't as kind to people who are sensitive, what do you feel like were the challenges that you faced being that sensitive, you know?
You can feel like you're not important and your voice doesn't have like doesn't matter. So it's like it's taking you a lot of courage also to understand that you are important
Mm,
because everyone is important no matter what. If you're sensitive, if you're every single like little flower in the garden is important. So it's the same with humans and the same with everybody. And when you're sensitive you grow up like because you're sensitive doesn't mean that you're not worthy. It means like you just feel more things and maybe you have more sensitive love. And because you didn't know how to give it to yourself, it's like, okay, I'm also worthy to give it to the world and I'm worthy to, even if I'm not so like, how I can say, because when you are young and you have the dreams to grow up and do something, when you're sensitive and all the time you have people in your life saying to you specific things, sometimes it's like, okay, I'm gonna be in my cage
mm,
and I'm gonna. It's all the time you need to be protective and you need to also be like I need to protect myself and protect my feelings and sometimes you close until you feel safe and you can like open up.
mm-hmm,
So when you're sensitive sometimes it's really beautiful because in the same time like if you're sensitive and you see something very beautiful outside and you start crying you're like that's beauty also in the heart because you understand that the heart is very important and it's very like if we just learn how to be more strong to our sensitivity and use it in a good way, maybe the world can help like every human how to also respect each other and be more kind and just be more acceptable because I think when we truly accept ourselves it's more easy to go outside in the world and understand that everyone is important and that's why we are here also.
mm-hmm,
That is also teaching me like my biggest fear is also to be seen. So yeah. So um it's like it's coming a lot with yeah, just understand that everyone is important no matter what and it's really beautiful to also like say to someone you're important and you're worthy, that you're here, and you know it's nice. I don't, sometimes I was feeling like it's a curse, but at the same time it's a gift
Mm.
to be that sensitive. So I think, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
What what do you think about sensitivity?
No, I thank you. I thank you for giving that testimony because, in a world like the one that we live in, it can be a challenge. And I like how you said that you can establish those boundaries and at the same time allow for that sensitivity and not have low self-worthiness,
Mm,
that your self-worth isn't low just because you're sensitive,
yeah.
especially with, with myself, with masculine energy, you hear people all the time like, why are you so sensitive? Why are you in your feelings? Get out of your feelings. You're,
Yeah.
you're being sensitive, right? Like, bro, don't don't be so so. The alternative when I start to think of just being numb or just kind of being guarded or just kind of being closed off to all that sensitivity, I wondered what kind of superpowers I might be blocking if I didn't open up and allow for that sensitivity. And with vulnerability, with you just expressing yourself the way that you know how and allowing yourself to be heard, allowing yourself to be seen, it's beautiful, Elpiva, because it sounds like you're facing your fear, in real time.
Yeah, and I think for men it's really difficult nowadays because you grew up like, why are you crying? Not cry. Men don't cry, and that is like huge like block to the men's. And sometimes I truly like, I don't know. I love men's because you're really important also, and you play your part. And sometimes you see now what happened to the world about women and females and masculine, but it's not about we are separate, and we need also to maybe like the feminine can help more to the men's to be more sensitive, and like I give you the opportunity to, if you want to cry, cry. If you want to like show me that you have feelings or love or everything, you are open to do that here, and I'm not gonna trying to control you, say you need to be that way in order to be, these
Mhm.
men, because um I think it comes again a lot to the child inside of you. So everything is like more when you truly like accept your feelings and your sensitivity, and as a man to the world, you also have like really good things to give and provide and guide also as a man.
Absolutely. I agree, and you actually hit home just now, Hope. There was something you said that you just triggered a memory in me because there were so many years, like there were years of my life, especially during my 20s, there was a large portion of time that I never cried, you know?
Mm,
Like I'm talking
you know,
years, like years in a row, consecutively, that I
I'm
wasn't
exactly the opposite. I'm exactly the opposite. Um, I'm saying them exactly the opposite. And when people telling me, I cannot cry, I don't have tears, it's like, for me, it's like, but why? But I think like this is why I say to you, it's really important when you feel something, when you cry, but you feel like it's not the same, you clear your soul. It's like, okay, let it go. It's like your body's having tears because you need to release this emotion. So we need to be acceptable of tears. I don't know, but I think it's nice also to be okay. I feel this way. It's acceptable. It's okay.
Wow, wow. So tears are how we clear the soul. It's like a
It's how Yeah, it's how I feel because I'm crying too much. And I mean, I was crying also when I was a kid and all these things. And when I grow up, I'm like, okay, don't feel shame because you're crying. You need to, because you cannot, like, if you're sensitive, you cannot stop it. It's like coming.
Mm.
So I was feeling, when I start feeling good and not same about my tears, it helped me a lot to release emotions. And it's like, it was cleansing me. So yeah. But
Yeah.
as you say about your memories and about bring you back to your childhood and how you feel as a young man about, like, let's say something happened to you, you couldn't able to like cry, or you just be like, oh, I don't need to cry, I'm strong. How do you feel about
Yeah, because it goes back to childhood. I mean, children are so able to release those emotions so easily and effortlessly and naturally, you know? It's like until we are taught that it's not right or that it's wrong to release these emotions and to feel your feelings, you know, we do
it?
it effortlessly. We do it without even trying, you know? You see a child that's crying without even trying, you know?
It's like sometimes I was trying to hold it. I'm like, hold it, hold, don't cry. But it's like I cannot. I try so many times, but it was like, okay, just let it out.
Right, right. So, you know, you don't really feel like you're regressing if there's not so many feelings you're suppressing, you know?
Yeah, yeah,
So, if you're always suppressing, then it can get very depressing.
yeah, a lot.
Yeah.
And I also been through that part, and it's like, um, if like no matter what are you doing, if you suppress yourself, it's gonna come up.
Hmm.
It's good to face all these emotions, no matter what, where are you at in your journey. And you need to accept, like, not, like, you're not the same with everyone. So you need to learn yourself. And really, like, I think it's really important also to, when we try to understand ourselves and how we are, to not be like more in not in competition, not, how can I say that in right? Like to try to learn from ourselves, not to go to someone else to teach
Hmm.
us. Like, because if I feel a specific way, it's not that we feel the same, but at the same time, I need to be valid about my feelings and about my sensitivity and about how I work better with myself, you know. And it's a beautiful thing to, well, it's not the most easy way, because sometimes you getting lost, but at the same time you coming back and you're like, okay, we got this. And to have faith to yourself and to understand that all of us, like, even the sensitivity can have a gift to have to give to the world. So it's really nice to, it's important, I think, for everyone.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. You know, and when you're talking about LPV, learning yourself, discovering yourself, uncovering yourself, you know, with these things of yourself, can you talk about the true self? Because I remember I heard something that you put up about that when you experience yourself through art and the things that you love that are your passion, that it's directly connected to your higher self, and that
Yeah,
download information that leads you to your true self. So
yeah.
like what how do you define yourself, your higher self, and then your true self that it leads you to?
I think everything is connected, and sometimes like the Trinity, and sometimes you need to understand how everything is working, and you need to accept all this part and start to listen. Like, if you have vision and if you have like the inner voice that is coming to you, and to understand that it's coming with calmness and love, and it's like because sometimes we separate, like, my higher self, you know. I used to do that. It's like my higher self. So now I'm learning more to understand that everything is here,
Mm.
and about the art and about the passion that you have. Let's say that is something that you really love to do. It's coming from the heart. Let's say when you're dancing or singing and you do this thing and it's coming more from your heart because you're trying to do things more from the heart. It's connecting you exactly and it's giving you information and the vision that not everybody's gonna understand. It's something from you, but at the same time it's really beautiful to have the faith and the courage to follow it, because sometimes it getting okay, um like how I'm sure that this is for me. You know it because you do that from love and it's coming from the heart. And I think it's a really beautiful thing to be a little bit more brave to do that. Because sometimes you're thinking how I'm gonna go outside to the world and do what I see to myself. Because it's a little bit different from what you see outside. So also it's to understand more our true nature and the truth that is within us and how we can operate from that, and more to the love that is coming from it. Because as I say, I feel like everybody has something beautiful to give to the world. So
Yes.
yeah.
So what do you feel was one of your passions or pursuits, or maybe something that felt purposeful for you, but it also took faith for you to follow?
For me, that is dancing, is movement,
So
because
movement medicine.
yeah, because it's all the time I had when I want to express myself, it's difficult to use words. But when I'm dancing, it's I'm feeling totally connected and totally myself. And it's more my energy is more flowing and understand everything. And it's I understand how important it is to move the energy and let it come from us and give it to the earth, because it's the same. It's it's important to learn also to let all the stuck energy and move, because we are here to expand.
Right.
And when we dancing, we understand oh, there is an energy that is flowing, and I don't need to put words in that, and I don't feel like I need to put myself in words. So I feel like I'm totally free and I'm totally myself, and I totally um loving, and how I can explain to you is it's feeling right, and it's feeling we can do something with the movement, so we can understand also how to heal the body, and understand how important it is to just remove the stuck energy and everything that we have, and bring it's like alchemy. It's to let it go what we don't, what we don't need anymore, and bring that love that is coming from the heart. And it's okay, it's it's really nice. And sometimes I don't have the right words all the time because
No,
it's coming.
those
I hope you understand what I'm saying.
those are the perfect words. You know, you use the perfect words, because with alchemizing that energy, like alchemy, changing something, transforming it into something new,
Yeah, that is
like
also
um,
tell
mhm.
me, continue,
Also what?
continue,
Oh,
continue.
okay, yeah. Um, I like how you said it's healing for you, because it sounds like movement is medicine. Yeah, yeah.
And
It sounds
it's
like very,
coming,
yeah.
mm, it's coming a lot with to understand that also like when you want to understand yourself, you need to alchemize, because sometimes this oppression that is coming from the feelings and the parts that it wasn't it wasn't coming with acceptance, you need to bring that love.
Mm-hmm.
And it's the same with dancing for me. Actually,
Mm-hmm.
it's like the movement, the dancing, and the things that it make you feel more free and more yourself. And for someone it might be like singing or making art or making like poets, or it's everything like about how you feel about not only the movement but about the art that is coming from your soul, like how you feel about. Yeah, it's
Can you? It's a what?
I no, I wanted to hear you.
Yeah, can you also talk about, there's other things that you put up like quantum light and photons. I'd love to learn the relationship between, the words like quantum, photons, and light, and how does that kind of influence and impact your journey when it comes to your learning?
It helps a lot to understand the energy and the
Mm,
environment, and that what we see also in reality can come to the quantum field, to understand that we can create our own reality,
mm,
and that the energy that we have is the same with the sun. We can heal ourselves from the sun energy that we already have within us, because
mm,
sometimes it helps you also to understand the photons and the atoms, because it's like the universal. It's the same again with um, how it's more easy to heal ourselves with the energy, and how
mm.
to learn it from ourselves. It's when like I trying to before, to be honest, when I was trying to like follow something else,
Mm.
it with me it comes a lot with when I try to learn something else outside of myself, it came is a little bit more complicated. So when I trying
Mm.
to learn from within me, to understand like um, how I operate and how I can be more like to trust myself, it can come also to helping myself with the energy um that we all have, and we need to learn how to use it more.
Mm. Okay. So learning how to use the energy that we all have. When you're dancing and you're doing these movements and they look very intuitive. They look very flowing. They don't look very stringent. They don't look very restricted. It's very loose, very, it just can go anywhere at any time. And for some people, when they talk about light language, they use light language through movement. So I'd
Mm.
like, how do you see light language and that transmission, those codes, that energy? Do you do it through movement? Do you do it through writing? Do you do it through your voice? Where do you see that?
It's more like this is what I was trying to say before, but I don't know if I say it correctly. It's because, like, for me, if I have something on my mind, it's not like I'm gonna do it.
Mm.
It's like I want to learn myself. Like when I'm dancing, I'm not thinking the movement,
Right.
just listen, and it's coming natural. It's the
Hmm.
same with writing. Like if I sit down and I write, I don't have something on my mind. It just I let also the movement flow, and also to learn the
Hmm.
free movement of the light and how it comes, because I don't want to control it. The
Hmm.
same time with the movement, I think. But it comes, how can I say to you? Mm, it comes a lot with, like when I'm dancing, for example, I always kind of feel, let's say, small hero inside of me, like
Mm.
the avatar.
Mm. Hmm.
So the energy and the air and everything, like I let it flow. So whatever comes, comes. And sometimes, it's really nice to understand, like, I can do something different, and when you just learning yourself from small things is nice because it's more unique to you and to everyone, I think.
Right, right. I love that, Elpiva. When you said the Avatar, you've seen that show.
Yeah, I love it.
Okay. So it's like you have all the elements within you. You know, you have the earth, the air, the water, the fire, like all of those elements within you.
Yeah, it's in everyone, and it's when we connect, we find things like, okay, it's really nice. And like, for example, you can connect it, okay, I'm Aquarius, I'm an air sign. And like when I see my chart, it was like 5 planets on Aquarius. So I was like too
Mm,
much air. So I was understanding like when I want to like express myself, it's coming a lot with a movement and a lot with I need to be free to be completely in my truth,
mm,
And something is like also with all the elements. It's like when you connect with all the elements, it's like more like, oh, I have superpowers, and it's
yeah.
like it's really beautiful because also like to find what is expressing to you, like air or fire or water. It's helping you a lot also to heal with the earth and to be
Mm,
one with the earth, and it's coming more with harmony, I think.
yes, yes.
How do you feel about Avatar?
I love it. You know, that was one of my favorite shows coming up, and seeing Aang and the Legend of Korra and the different avatars and the different avatar states, and they definitely tuned into their higher self, and they learned more about their true self as well. So it feels like we're all on that same journey, the same journey. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. Was was there a something in particular to that show that you gravitated towards, that you enjoyed about that show, that maybe affected you or impacted you through watching it?
Um, that all of them they had like difficulty, like difficult things, and
Yeah.
in themselves,
Mhm.
and that is teaching you you're not need to be perfect. Like the Avatar wasn't perfect, and it's the same with my journey. It's like I have so many imperfections, but at the same time I feel beautiful about them. And when I feel safe, it's like I can be my best self. And sometimes until I feel that safety with my sensitivity and all the stuff, I can see myself. I'm like, okay, this is what I can give to the world, and I understand. And this is the same like with the Avatar. It's like you understand the superpowers that you have and how powerful you are, and sometimes like you need to use for with the responsibility
Mhm.
the gift of the avatar to be the avatar to save the world.
Mhm.
And the characters is really nice, and also the Legend of Korra, I really love it. It's like also she had like many difficult things to overcome, but she did, and she was very powerful. And the same with all the avatars. Like it's not that you have all this power and you're like everything is easy and everything is perfect. So it's teaching you a lot of lesson also
Right.
when you watch them.
Absolutely. Absolutely. When you're talking about responsibility, or our response to our abilities, and how with great power comes great responsibility. When did you feel, Elpiva, that, you know, this is the gift that I've been given to give back to the world, or this is what I'm meant to do. This is what I'm supposed to give to the world. When do you feel like you had that feeling?
Uh, it's a little bit complicated with me because I used to question a lot myself. So with that, I feel more like, for me, like my superpowers, it can be like calmness and love and everything that we need to be more brave about to show that the love that we have, and about like to understand, like even if you're like, so if you have like imperfection, you can again find your power to be beautiful and kind and loving. And it's not like it's something small, and in nowadays we use it like um okay, it's self-love, it's love, it's kindness, is but it's everything that is helping you to be a little bit more beautiful soul, to go out there and be like, we all need to be more kind to each other and more loving and more caring. It's important for
Mhm.
everyone. You know, um,
Yeah.
it's coming. It's coming a lot with also courage to show up to the world
Hmm.
and who you are. And sometimes I say it's because when you used to hide so much yourself, it's like it's hard to show to the people who you are. So it's not something like cute or something like I'm the greatest or I'm this, I'm that. It's the simple things that you're like, it's acceptable to be just yourself, you know,
Hmm.
and you are important.
Yes, yes. Accept it just as you are, you know. Accept it yourself. And, you know, to be able to accept yourself, also feel that you are accepted is definitely, you know, I love that awareness. I love that awareness that you have with acceptance, and that you give yourself grace in that way, in the face of all these things. Because, you know, there was something else I saw about you that you put up, and you said, I may be small, but I'm a laughing mountain. Do you remember putting that up there?
Uh, yeah, but I think, yeah.
Yeah,
And it's
I was.
because it's the same with the universe. Like we are nothing, but at the same time we are everything, you know. And it's like it's the same. Like you need to understand if you're maybe we are feeling small because we didn't have the right environment to feel like okay, you're worthy and you're something like the world needs to see, so you can put yourself out.
Mhm.
Because most of the times, like when we are being the wrong environment, we don't know. Maybe you're the most beautiful flower, let's say, to the garden, but you don't know it because everybody was like too busy with themselves, and that is okay. That is beautiful, but it's taking you courage to understand when you see with your eyes like everybody's beautiful, and you have like, if I see you, I'm gonna be like, okay, you're really beautiful, and you do a lot of great things. But how do I do that for myself? You know, how when I feel small, how to accept myself and be like, okay, like every single flower in the garden is beautiful, and that's why we need to understand we are all unique and we all have the specific like beauty within us to be in harmony with each other, you know.
Mhm. Yeah. No, I agree. We do. You know, it's like it's almost like coded in our DNA. We have it within us.
Yeah, yeah. We all of us have, and it's really beautiful also to like unlock this gift.
Mm.
And for me to unlock this gift, because to be honest, I can be distracted and I can be lost most of the times. But when I truly like focus on myself and I truly like put aside the world, because you know I'm sensitive and I'm thinking like, oh, maybe he's right and maybe he's more important, and if he have something like maybe I need to do the same. So I'm losing myself. So if I go back to myself and understand like, okay, I'm important and I have the key, so I need to learn myself within me, and I can do that. You know, it's unlock the true like gift that you have to give to the world,
Hmm.
because um, that is why also to not get lost so much and to trying to understand like the importance of why you're here.
Right. Right. So, you know, if someone is looking and they're listening to you and they're like, wow, you know, I do feel like there's something inside me. I do feel like I have that gift, but I feel like I haven't unlocked it. what would be one of the steps that you would encourage or you would advise somebody to go about unlocking their gift? Yeah.
To fully trust themselves and truly go back to the childhood, because that inner child is giving you a lot of answers, I think. A lot of answers to understand, like the inner child is that's giving you the life force and the things like sometimes to be like a little bit more adventurous and a little bit more like have this wonder of okay, why I'm here, and to not be afraid to start from zero.
Mm.
It's really important to not be afraid to start from zero and be like if I want to learn myself and I don't go to someone else to tell me who I am, and start doing that for myself and start like okay, if I'm here, what do I have to give, and start exploring and discovering and be like this childlike that is have this wonder of like okay, what is coming from my heart and what make me happy and what I want to do. Not to be afraid to do that, because most of the times we think like, okay, how, for example, how I'm gonna be successful if I'm dancing. But it's not about success here. It's about what is making you loving yourself and coming from the heart. Because sometimes we're thinking like, oh, I need to do that and I need to, you know, but you don't need to suppress that. But because I also did that in the
Mm.
past, I suppressed these kind of things that I have
Mhm.
inside of me because I was feeling like, okay, how I'm gonna go outside to the world and I'm gonna do these things. It's a little bit like, but at the same time, it's coming again a lot with acceptance
Mhm.
because you cannot suppress more. You just need to accept where you are at in life, and also like to start making small changes every single day, because you cannot like jump.
Right.
You cannot jump. And sometimes we're like, oh, I'm a mess right now, and everything in my life is like, oh, I don't feel like I can do this, and how I'm gonna change all these
Mm.
things. You know, where do I start? But start from small, start from yourself. Like the first step, I think, is how we speak to myself, the thoughts and everything that is coming. Like, okay, if I speak these ways, I'm judging myself and I
Mm.
criticize myself. So I cannot like water myself with criticism if I want to bloom. You know, is everything comes again back to the muddy war and the flower. And I think if we like teaching ourselves like from young age how to water that flower and be more like loving, and because I think with love everything is blooming,
Mm.
everything is coming like with true from the heart, and your sender is like okay, this is who I am. There is no shame, there is no, I don't need to be someone else, and I don't need to pretend that I need to go outside of ourselves. Yes, I have imperfections. Yes, I'm like sometimes I'm struggling and have these things, but I'm gonna find my way anyway. You need to have like a lot of faith, I think, and a lot of love for yourself and the world. Also, it's not about about us. It's about how we also go outside and be with each other.
Yeah. I agree. I agree. This is such a beautiful message. Like we needed this, people need to hear this. And, I love how you say, El Piva, you say, start from zero, like start small, start baby steps, increments, like, and that we cannot water ourselves with criticism. We can't water ourselves with guilt. We can't water ourselves with blame. We can't water ourselves with shame. We can't water ourselves, you know, that's not how we grow, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because let's say we see someone else, we'll be like, oh, he do that and he do that, and how? Like for me, the most like difficult thing is to just open my camera and start speaking.
Hmm.
Like it was coming a lot. I'm afraid how I'm gonna show up and how it wasn't coming. It was really difficult. The most simple things for me, like to go outside and speak, it was difficult. But I say, okay, I need to face my fear. and I need to do something. And for me, example again, is okay for me. It's a small step. For someone else, it's not important, but for me, I did a little bit of, you know, step, one step. So this is why you need also to be like, okay, right now I'm at 0 point, so starting again slowly,
Hmm.
slowly, and we're gonna see like in a month or in a few months, like you did work, you did something.
Yes, yes, you'll be able to reflect. You know, when
Hmm.
you look back, you'll be able to connect. You know, wow, I did it. You know,
Yeah.
I made it through. So, you know, the last thing I wanted to ask you, Hope, is the part about master teacher you have in your bio.
Yeah.
These two words, master and teacher. I'd love to hear like how did those two words coincide for you in your life?
Um, to be master of ourselves and everything that is going on within us, because sometimes we let things to just overgoing about the world and about everything, how we master and be more um like strong to ourselves.
Mm,
Like, how do I master my feelings? If I'm too sensitive, okay, I'm sensitive, I accept myself, but how do I master to be more strong and loving to those feelings and everything that is coming to myself,
mm,
and to be the master of to learn from
mm,
yourself again, because everyone is great and everyone do the work that they're supposed to do to this world, but what about to teach yourself things?
mhm,
Because you need to be a student if you want to be the master. And it's the same thing, like again, acceptance. And sometimes again, like you have like something within you that if you question all the time yourself, is because of something within you needs to awake
mm,
and needs to be like, okay, if I'm here, and you start again be, how do I master all this, and how I'm gonna be the teacher of myself to learn from myself, so I can unlock my true gifts and my true potential and the keys that is within us and in everyone.
yes, yes. Wow, wow. So you said the master is the master because they're always a student.
Hmm. This is the step. This is I think like nobody was like, I wake up or I born
Mm,
teacher. It's like you need to walk in the path to learn all these things, and it's gonna come a day you're gonna be like, okay, now I understand why I've been through so many things and why I'm here.
yes, yes. Well, Hope, oh my goodness. You know, thank you just for coming on. Thank you for these words. Thank you for your wisdom. Thank you for your teachings. Thank you for teaching yourself, reaching yourself so
Thank
that you
you for bringing me here, and I faced my fears today, so it was, yeah, I was a lot of like, yeah, but I'm kind of feeling more, a little bit more open now.
I'm glad.
So yeah, thank you for giving me the space to speak. Thank you so
Yeah.
much for everything.
Yeah, and I trust this won't be the last time that we hear your voice. You know, you gave yourself the space, you pressed the button, and I trust that you'll continue sharing your voice with people.
I
Thank
also
you.
see your video that day that you were saying you're important to use your voice, and for me, it's the most like I need to face that fear and I need to use my voice, because I also, but this is coming from childhood trauma, and I know this
Mm,
because I saw that, because it's really beautiful to step up and be brave, and like even if you have this fear of speaking up, because in your childhood you have like kind of memory that when you start speaking about
mm,
something, everybody was making fun of you, so like you're there. And now if you want to heal it, you can give love, but at the same time you can just face it
mhm.
and step, like, to go outside and do that. And when I saw your video, I was like, I need to do that, and I know it. And thank you for giving me that also message, and like you use your voice to remind me that I need to use my voice also.
Yes, yes. You know, I'm glad you received it. You know, the energy is reciprocal. It's an energy exchange. And yeah, we are never the same. We continue to change. Yeah.
Yeah.
So love, so much love to you.
Yeah.
And enjoy the rest of your day. Enjoy the rest of your evening. Yeah.
Enjoy your day too. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Yeah. Take care. Bye.
Bye.